Hello everyone and happy Halloween. My name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for November the 1st, 2011. Now our first trade for tonight is going to be in the ETF market, specifically the United States Natural Gas Fund, the UNG. What we can see here from Vantage Point is I have this line that I've drawn right across here at $8.50 per share. We can see that the triple EMA cross is attempting to complete. Now looking at this, we can see that the 3-day has crossed the 6-day and the 18-day predicted moving average, which is quite bullish. Now when we break this down, first thing what we want to look at is the closing price. We've closed at $9 per share. Our 3-day comes in at 889, 883, and 883. So that's basically where our support line is drawn. Now from here, what we do is we go in and we're going to have a look at the individual crossovers from Vantage Point. The first one is the short-term crossover, is crossed to the upside. This is the second day for this crossover. Now looking at this, our medium-term crossover is basically just 1 day old. That's a very bullish look. Now again, what we also want to look at is the long-term crossover. The long-term crossover is not quite completed yet, but it looks very good, as if it will be coming soon. Our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences are again breaking above the zero line at trend-ready levels. Predicted MACD and predicted true strength indicator fully supportive, still in my opinion in somewhat oversold territory. So everything, now the fundamental that I would add into this is we're coming into heating season, so the natural gas is likely to gain in value. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the daily report from Vantage Point, and we're going to have a look and see what we have for the predicted high and predicted low. Now looking at things, we can see that our neural index is up for the second day in a row. We have 892 and 891. Now that's obviously a very tight range that this is going to play. So clearly our predicted high is not, we're not going to go with that predicted high. We should be able to push above that. This is saying that there's going to be virtually nothing for pretty much flat on the move, but that's very unlikely. Now looking at what's happened today, we've moved between 887 and 904, so it's not a big move, but again we're looking for more of a short to medium term perspective here. So we're gonna use the 892 as an entry point, and then we'll be looking at about the $9.10 mark per share. So that's still pretty good if we're picking up 20-30 cents per share on just a $9 ETF. That's actually quite good. Now your more medium and longer term traders, if this thing can get going, then I would start to target $9.50, $10 back up in that area. I think that's a very good possibility. So keep that in mind when you're trading this one. Now that's our first position for tonight. Now our second position for tonight is going to be in the very volatile Australia-New Zealand currency pair. Now bear in mind that this recording is done the night before. Specifically, this is being recorded on October the 31st. Now what we're looking at here is counter trend shorts. I believe that this is getting very toppy up here. The Royal Bank of Australia is tonight, and I believe that that is going to cause volatility on this, but also that it's going to move lower. Now looking at the Vantage Point indicators here, how I'm coming up with that is our predicted TSI and our predicted MACD are in heavily overbought territory. Our predicted differences, are all pointing lower, with the long-term predicted difference also in heavily overbought territory. Now when we start to break this down by crossover, you can see that the short-term crossover from Vantage Point has crossed to the downside. This is a leading indicator in most cases. Now looking at our medium and our long-term crossover, they have not crossed over. So to let everybody know, this is a very volatile trade, but I do like it. So what we're going to be doing is playing that short-term crossover, the overbought signal, and the RBA announcement tonight all in one. So looking at the Vantage Point predicted high and predicted low, we're going to be selling 130.74. Our first target 130.09. Now if this trade can get going, we have the possibility of going back towards the 129 area. So potentially potentially a very big trade here. Neural index is down for the third day in a row. This is confirming what I'm thinking, that the RBA announcement tonight is going to be somewhat dovish, and it's going to drive this pair lower. Our equities are under pressure. The dollar is gaining strength. These are all positive for this Australia-New Zealand pair to sell off. So again, looking at this for tomorrow, we're going to wait for a move up here to towards 130.74, excuse me, and then we're going to enter into our shorts. Now, looking at a trade like this on a volatile pair like this, where would the stop be? Well, of course, we would want it over this 131 area. In my opinion, I would put the stop probably in and around the 131.90 area. I would allow for at least 100 pips of volatility if we can get that entry point around that 130.74, which I'm confident we will, just prior to the RBA announcement. So again, we've got somewhat of a wider stop on this. It is counter trend, but again, looking at this trade, we're playing this short-term crossover, and the short-term crossover you can see has tried to cross several times over the last couple of weeks and has failed. This is the first time we have actually been able to cross the trigger to the downside. So again, your short-term traders, you'll be looking for about 74 pips. Your medium and longer-term traders, the potential is here for a 300 pip move lower. So keep that in mind. And once again, happy Halloween to everybody. And again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com.